And before we get into today's show, I want you guys to go ahead and hit that description box down below and go ahead and follow us on the other platforms on Instagram and TikTok. Mean a lot to us and it'll help us support and grow these platforms. Anyways, today I want to come on here and give you guys a very powerful message and talk about a time where the most powerful moment and the most erased moment in Black American history, which was the Florida Seminole Wars. And the reason why I wanted to talk about these Florida Seminole Wars is because this is the only time in history, in Black American history, as of today, where we never asked for anything or begged for anything or prayed about something. And although we done had many great accomplishments in America, we done had major movements like the Civil Rights Movement. We done had great leaders like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and plenty other more greats. But we're going to talk about a time where when it came down to our rights and the things that we want, or the things that we wanted, there was no question about it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. It was, you give us what we want or else. 30 seconds of free game starts right now. So really quick, I want to give a quick shout out to Good Start AI. They build very powerful AI agents that run your business for you while you get to go focus on other things in life that matter to you. And if you guys want exclusive content and tools and privacy apps, go ahead and hit my Patreon link down below. And lastly, if you guys want to directly support the channel, you can go ahead and hit my Cash App. Every bit helps as we keep striving to full monetization. Anyways, let's get back into it. I hope you enjoy the show. You see what I'm saying? There was a what else or what else after we demanded what we wanted. And the reason why this is so important is because this is the same kind of mentality that we got to keep having. This is the first time that we stood up to white supremacy in a way that they never seen before. And we was pretty much giving them BTA, belt to ass. You know what I'm saying? Starting in the 1817, when the first Florida War, Seminole War started, the war was based around runaway slaves leaving the plantations and the slave masters trying to come catch them. And then the Florida Seminoles, which was a group of Black indigenous, so-called Native Americans, and runaway slaves came together to fight against white supremacy and slavery, and also the expansion into Florida. And this is important because, we weren't waiting to go vote for somebody. We wasn't going to the booths, bickering amongst each other, saying, if you don't vote for this person, then you're not Black. Oh, he's going to do such and such for us. They're going to give us this, so we're not going to do it. We went there and we took it. You know what I'm saying? And we won at that too. And when I say we won, it wasn't we won in a way where it was we just, defeated the U.S. Army and Andrew Jackson and his military group. It was more so that we succeeded at getting a lot of slaves escaped and getting them to Mexico or getting them down to the Bahamas or wherever. And then after that, it created a domino effect where, a couple years later, after the Florida Seminole Wars, they had no choice but to free us. They had no choice, or freeing us became more so in the conversation than it was before. You see what I'm saying? We made slavery seem unsustainable. The Florida Seminole Wars cost them way more money than any other war previously at that time. So these things are very important. And we have to understand the message behind it. It's either you give us what we want or else. Simple as that. There is no waiting for somebody to come save you. There isn't waiting for a government official or a president to come in to give you your rights. You take it. Right. And, no disrespect to our former leaders and the great contribution of Martin Luther King. But my personal leader, or somebody that I look up to, a Black American that I like their philosophies more so than all the others, is John Horse. John Horse is one of the commanders or one of the generals who led the Florida Seminoles against Andrew Jackson and succeeded at getting slaves taken away and bringing them back and having them run away into Mexico or down to the Bahamas. And it was his leadership, it was his bravery, it was his courage that kind of sort of made him stand out to me amongst all the other great Black leaders that we done had. We weren't marching. We weren't in the streets talking about BLM. We weren't out there protesting, holding hands, trying to sing kumbaya, knowing that these people don't like us. We went to war about it, and we was ready to die about it. And that's the same kind of demeanor that we got to have today. The most powerful and most erased moment in history for Black Americans, the Florida Seminole Wars. And not to say that there wasn't other groups of blacks fighting in other areas. I don't want people to take Florida as the only place that blacks were fighting at. They were fighting everywhere. They were fighting all over the country, rebelling. We had Nat Turner. He's also a great example of somebody who stood on business. BTA, belt to ass. We had several revolts in America, but the one in Florida was so special because it was the biggest revolt. It was the most successful revolt down here. And we have to remember that. And on top of that, we have people trying to steal or trying to come in and take benefit off of the Florida Seminole Wars. First, we have a lot of Mexicans coming in and saying that they helped us out during slavery, giving us refugee and things of such nature. When in reality, it wasn't the Mexicans we see today that helped us out. It was the Black Mexicans. They're the ones who pitched in and helped us escape through slavery. Their first president, Vicente Guerrero, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from the Florida Seminoles, but I had to share some of this history to make sure we clarify. Because when we try to tell this history, or when we talk about the Florida Seminoles and how they were able to successfully grab a lot of slaves and run away, the first thing other groups of people are going to do is they're going to talk about their contribution to us and leave out major key components. Like Mexico also contribute to slavery. They participated in slavery in enslaving their black indigenous. Right. And then the Afro Mexicans who did help us, they were on the border of Mexico, exiled out of the country, pushed out close to the edge. They had little communities over there that helped us give refugee inside Mexico. So make sure we're giving the credit to the right people. Don't give credit to the European Mexicans who's currently getting kicked out of America right now. Give credit to the Black Mexicans who risked their lives and who later got hung and killed, right, for helping us out. Yeah. And then we also have a lot of Haitians trying to come in and talk about their contribution to the Florida Seminoles with their General George Bioso. I hope I'm saying his name right. If I'm butchering it, I'm sorry, my bad. Right. We have a lot of them saying that we got to give them praise for their contribution to us. And the whole thing about it is when you look into the history of Haiti, and I don't want to take nothing from Haiti because Haiti did something that was great. It's a beautiful and great history that Haiti has. But we're not going to start fitting narratives where they don't belong. Haiti contribution to the Florida Seminoles had to be, I almost want to say slim to none, but maybe 1% was there. And now 1% was one man. And he didn't come down to Florida as a Haitian, a part of the Haitian military. He came down to Florida as a part of the Spanish military. General George Bioso. General George Bioso was a general in Haiti that got exiled, kicked out for playing both sides with the French or Spanish. I'm not too sure how that history went. All I know is the Spanish sent him to Florida. And the Spanish at the time was in allegiance with the Florida Seminoles because we were fighting against the U.S. Army. So fighting for Florida. And then they're helping us have refugee there in Florida and setting up borders so we could fight. So this man, George Bioso, came to Florida to St. Augustine as a commander for the Spanish army. We have to make sure that is clear. He didn't come here as a Haitian military general. He came here as a Spanish general and chief and commander. Right. And he was in charge of maybe some of the groups in the Florida Seminoles war, but we was already whooping ass for 100 years plus. So his contribution was less to none. So we have to make sure we straighten that out. Make sure those facts are straight. I'm trying to get rid of this. Uh, Trying to get rid of these email pop-ups. Right. So a lot of people are going to try to take credit for our great achievements, and we can't let them. It was Black Indigenous Americans that came in and we freed ourselves. Nobody helped us like that. You see what I'm saying? It was the Black indigenous of Mexico who gave us refugee in Mexico, it's not the Europeans. It was the Gullah Geechees, the Maroons down here in Florida that fought against Andrew Jackson. It was John Horace, Chief Osceola. These guys are the ones we give credit to. And then the message that they gave us was If you want something, you have to fight for it. There is no compromising. There is no asking and begging. There isn't going down to a booth and voting for it. It's either you do what I say or else. That's it. And that's the message that we got from Florida and these Florida Seminole Wars. And I know a lot of people are going to say that, white folks freed us. White folks are the ones that the slaves are free. Man, white folks, if it wasn't for these slave revolts and it wasn't for us making slavery such a bother, let's get this straight. Slavery wasn't an easy thing to contain. Despite what they like to say in the history books, despite about the movies they make to make us feel like enslaving us was such an easy process, even with the transatlantic slave trade, making it seem like it was just easy to go grab 12.5 million slaves. It was easy to build 50,000 boats and do this transaction for 400 years. It was easy from getting from the United States to Africa when there is no boats to this day that leads from Florida to Africa. You have to go to the Caribbean. Right. It was easy keeping all these slaves alive all the way back to the Americas. And then it was easy to keep them captivated on these camps and making them work. It was not easy. And we did not make it easy for them, not one bit. And these Florida Seminole Wars are a prime example of it not being easy. So when it comes down to who freed you, it wasn't white folks. It was you. You made slavery unsustainable. You made it economically and financially unstable for them, to the point where it led to a domino effect, and then the Civil War happened. But had we not revolted, had we not formed our alliance, or have we not came together as blacks, indigenous blacks, runaway slaves as blacks, come together and fight against the U.S. Army and slavery, we would not be free to this day. And don't let nobody tell you nothing different. That's all I wanted to come out here to tell you guys. I hope you guys appreciate this message. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go check out our affiliate links down below in the description box. I'm out.